The number 9 overall seed Texas is hosting Louisiana Tech, Dallas Baptist, and Air Force this weekend in their regional, and what sets up to potentially be very favorable for Louisiana Tech or Dallas Baptist, whoever comes out of that first game, because Texas will have a hard matchup against Air Force and their star pitcher. But it could really go either way with that matchup, and for that case, Louisiana Tech and Dallas Baptist must be extremely happy, for whoever comes out of their 2-3 matchup is looking very good, especially if Air Force can knock off Texas in that number 1 game.
Yeah, this is a super intriguing regional, especially considering Air Force won a midweek against Texas earlier this year and actually almost won both of their midweeks. And like you mentioned, they have a Friday ace in Paul Skeens. He is the X factor for me in this regional. He's got a 2.42 ERA and just over 90 strikeouts on the year. A lot of these top seeds like to save their Friday guy for the second game because it's typically an easy game against the 4 seeds, but I don't know if I'm risking that with Texas. I'd probably want to avoid disaster and just go ahead and throw Pete Hansen and try and make sure I win that first game.
Yeah, it does sound like they will be throwing Pete Hansen in the first game. So that really jumbles up the whole agenda for this Texas team that coming in, I don't think they might have been expecting to be this high, being seeded 9th, but being a 9 seed, you expect a relatively easier regional than some other seeds, but getting a 4 seed Air Force, which with an absolute stud as a Friday guy, you can't really wish for any worse of a future for Texas, especially because it's going to be tough. Your arms are going to be spent, and that's pretty much the only arm that Air Force has. So unfortunately, you're going to be getting the worst of it with Air Force's cumulative ERA being a 6.5 and having one pitcher be at a 2. That just means everybody else is really struggling out there. But if Texas can get him out of the game early, they should be easily able to win in their Friday game. But if not, it's going to be very brutal, and Texas could end up on the loser side of things.
Yeah, and then as far as the 2-3 matchup, it's been a bit of a down year for Dallas Baptist, but they've played extremely well in their midweeks against quality opponents in the Big 12. It'll be interesting to see what kind of performance we get out of them on this stage. We know they have a lot of experience in that program, just consistently making the postseason and making some noise as well. So look out for Dallas Baptist, but I will have to go with Texas on this one just because they're simply the most talented team here.
Yeah, if Dallas Baptist can show up like they have in most of their midweeks, then I wouldn't be surprised if they can run the table here, but I'm also going to side with Texas here just because they are easily the most talented team in the regional. Thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed, we would really appreciate a like and subscribe for more weekly college baseball content.